Oh, David, 2-1 win at Ramsbottom on Saturday. How good did that feel?
It felt so good. It's just a huge relief. I don't think actually we played as well against Ramsbottom as we did against Glossop, or probably attacking wise as we did against Bootle. But I didn't ever feel at any point we'd lose that game. And I actually felt in the warm up, Jack Bannister felt he was hungry, he was sharp, and I thought he might really change the game for us. So as he proved, he did. He showed the class that we all know he's got. So yeah, brilliant. So relieved. So happy for the players and the fans as well.
So obviously it's a win. We go on to choose next weekend against Rylands, and that's another big test for the team. How are you feeling about that one with a win under your belt?
It's good to go into it with a win, a bit of confidence. I've always believed in these players. They're the same players that got us to the top of the league at the end of October. Nothing's really changed about the quality of them. It's a bit about belief and confidence. That confidence of a win should set us up nicely. And Rylands will be a test. I think they're the best side we've played this season. I thought they did a real number on us when we faced them early in the season, just tactically and physically and technically we're just a better side that day. So I feel we owe them one. I think the players feel that. I think we can go and get something there.
Give you more confidence coming off the back of not just a win, but a few pretty solid performances, despite a couple of defeats and a draw. You must be feeling more confident going into it now.
Yeah, it's the win. I think the performances have been there. We've been creating chances, but having scored a couple of goals and they were good goals, and having picked up 3 points and got that monkey off our backs, it sort of relieves some pressure. So it does feel like psychologically, so we're in a better place going into the game.
And then back onto the Ramsbottom game. So speaking to different people, there's a few different opinions on who was man of the match, and sounds like pretty much every player to a man put in a great performance. Your thoughts on any standout players on Saturday?
I thought Jordan Butterworth and Bailey Marsden were excellent. I think they ran the game as a midfield too and allowed Keogh to play a little bit higher, which we'd asked him to play around Tom Kennedy and stop him playing, and to support Connor, to give us a different dimension. So that's the way we attack with Keogh's physicality and Connor's pace off the shoulder. So I think either of those two would be good nominations. But you're right, every player, including the 3 subs who came on, all had a massive impact on the game. Jack Bannister scored the winner. Levi came on for the last 10 minutes and closed down, shut Tom Kennedy down, ran at them, basically secured the game for us. And Kane Hickman came on and did Kane Hickman things. He closed down, he hunted, he won tackles, he showed so much desire. So it was a real team effort. Every player who was there had a role to play, and I was so pleased for them.
We spoke quite a lot about Jordan Butterworth. Obviously, we all know about his talent, but Bailey Marsden's someone who sort of stood out the last few games. How good's he been stepping into the team in light of some injuries recently?
He's been excellent, and he's been unlucky in the past, I think, to miss out because he's competing with Keogh, Kane and JB for those 3 slots, and at times Mason plays in there as well. But he's now put himself in a position where he's pretty hard to drop, and Kane Hickman's back fit, and Bailey got the nod, and I think that will be a big boost for Bailey. There should be a big boost for Bailey. He's got everything he needs to be a footballer at a very good level. He's technically very, very good. He's fit. I think he can probably look after himself a little bit better, and he probably knows that. He gets away with being naturally fit and 19. But he is a fit lad. He covers the ground. He can do it for the full 90. He's physically strong. I mean, at 19, he's already a bloke. He can absolutely carry himself at this level. But he's got a mature head on him for a 19-year-old. If you watch the way he gets around the pitch, he doesn't fly into tackles. He doesn't often get booked. He's really good at closing down and then staying on his feet and winning the ball using his physicalities. It's a real skill and a real maturity. And he will be a very good footballer, hopefully for Mosley for many years to come, but I suspect at some point he'll kick on and go further up the pyramid, and I hope we can help give him that stepping stone.
And then 2 goals, 2 apparently very good goals as well. Thoughts on those goals?
They were excellent goals. They were things that we've worked on, which is always nice. So the first one, a good bit of interplay down the wing with Harry and Freddie Sass, and a great cross, and Keogh arriving late, and a very, very good header. And we've looked at that, how getting midfielders into the box and getting beyond the striker. So pleased that came off. And then the second one was just quick forward passing, quick movement. good interplay between Bailey Freddie and Jack Bannister, and then Jack Bannister's composure and skill at running at players. We know he's got it, and it hasn't quite worked for him so far. But I think that could be the catalyst. That was the Jack we've seen in training, that acceleration, that change of direction, and then the composure to finish the way he did was excellent. So I think that might be a huge relief for him as well, and maybe just what he needed to kick on himself.
Must be pleased as well with the reaction, obviously. 1-0 up, and then Domain Rouse scores for Ramsbottom, and it'd be very easy to slip into heads down, but they've responded really well. We must be pleased with that.
Yeah, I didn't feel we'd lose the game even at 1-1, and Ramsbottom changed things a little bit there. They put Hugo Rodriguez on, they brought Thompson on, so they tried to be more attacking. First thing Deck Evans did when Hugo Rodriguez came on was just bullying. He just absolutely outmanned him, and it set the stall. He got nothing. He's a big, strong lad. He's a handful, but every time a ball came into the box, one of Dev and Deck were around him. They were competing with headers. He won nothing clean. And it didn't feel like we were going to give them anything at that stage. And if anything, we'd get something going the other way. And we probably had a couple more chances and could have made it a bit more comfortable. So it was an excellent reaction, and probably points to maybe a little bits of confidence we've lacked. So he felt we had a bit more. I think the goal makes all the difference. Having scored, it felt like we might score again. Whereas in the past few weeks, it sort of felt like we're never going to score. And when we go one down, we just a sense we weren't going to get back into the game. We didn't feel that on Saturday.
And then last one, really, a couple of updates on injured players. So obviously Dale's still out at the moment. Anthony and Ben sat out this week. Any updates on those guys? Yeah,
Dale's open. He's only a couple of weeks away. It's a really strange injury. It's quite a deep injury in his adductor, so the muscle that you use for sprinting and kicking. And he's been kind of not at 90% fitness, but he can't get that last 10%. There's just a persistent pain there, which is just stopping him sprinting, stopping him kicking, both huge things for a goalkeeper with explosive power. So he said he's felt a change. It's not painful anymore. He's feeling an ache rather than a pain, and he feels he's just maybe just crossed the threshold, and he's perhaps only a couple of weeks away. So that's good news, and hopefully that's true. Ben and Brownie both tested positive for COVID. So they missed for that reason. Ben has now had a negative test, so he's fit to come train Tuesday. Brownie will probably Thursday, but hopefully be available for Saturday. Will Hartson, who had previously tested positive for COVID, was back in the squad on Saturday after a couple of negative tests. David Cuba still long term, waiting for a scan, which is frustrating. But that's kind of where we are. So we probably welcoming those three. So Dale, Ben, and Brownie back into the squad pretty soon. Will Shepherd was away on Saturday, so he's fit. So he's back in contention for next Saturday. And that probably means we'll be looking at moving a couple of players on. So I've spoken to a couple of clubs about Sam Kilner, looking at a dual reg. I think Sam has got potential. We all know what Sam can do. He's played 20-odd games for us over the last 2 seasons. But he needs to play. At the moment, he's not playing. And when he comes in, he's under immense pressure, and that's tough for a 19-year-old. So actually what he really needs for his development and if he's going to be right for us longer term is to go out and get some games. So I spoke to a couple of clubs there, and I'll expect a dual reg to be done soon, and Sam's go out and get games. And we might look at that situation for a couple of others as well, depending on how we're looking fitness-wise. I'm really keen on keep players playing. And the problem with many teams at this level, you don't really have a 23s or reserve team to keep people fresh in. It's difficult to get one at the right level. We've talked about this a lot. I'd love to do it, but it's difficult to get a team at a competitive enough level to make it worthwhile. Therefore, using that dual reg system and contacting the councils is probably the way to go.
Well, thanks for that, David, and well done for Saturday.
All right. Cheers, Nathan. See you soon.